Hello, everyone, and welcome to our session about could and should. We have some interesting information today, and I'd like for you all to come on in and join me. That way, we can go ahead and get started practicing using could and should in English. My name is Carissa, and I'll be your instructor for this hour. All right, very good. So let's see who we have so far. Let's go ahead and let's welcome Sarah. Hello, Sarah. Welcome to class. How are you today?
Hello, thank you. Fine, and you?
Good. I'm doing just fine today, Sarah. So, Sarah, please tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm from Kuwait, and um, um, and now it's holiday, and I like to improve my English language, and then I come to class.
Okay, very good. Now, Sarah, you have an interesting picture. So tell us about that picture. Why did you choose that picture?
Maybe it's near of my face. It's not a really picture. It's just um, a, a painting or drawing this picture. Not really.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, good. Yeah, it's good to pick a fun picture. It's definitely a conversation starter. Okay, very good. Excellent. And so just tell me briefly, Sarah, what time is it right now in Kuwait?
It's 11. No, 12 and 12 and 5 a.m. 12 and 5 minutes a.m.
Okay, so 12:05 a.m.
12:05 a.m.
Ah, good. 12. Wow. Okay, so you're up late.
Good.
Okay, so we'll try to keep it interesting. Try to keep it interesting for you. Okay, very good. Great. Great to have you here in class, Sarah. All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so Randy. Randy, thanks for joining us today. How are you today, Randy?
Hi, I'm doing very great today.
Good, Randy. I can hear it in your voice. It sounds like you're doing good today.
Yeah,
Okay, so Randy, um, tell us, where are you from?
I'm from France, and our team won against won against Swiss. Yeah,
Oh, okay,
I,
good. So there's a lot of excitement in your town right now. Lots of excitement in your country.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I live in Costa Rica, and Costa Rica won today as well. So here in Costa Rica, everyone is pretty excited.
so congrats as well. What's the
Yeah.
match?
Well, I think it was a good match. The Costa Rica won 1-0. I wasn't able to watch the game because I was out doing some volunteer work, but I could hear people yelling and screaming and honking horns today, so I believe that it was a good game. Okay, good. All right, now you have also chosen an interesting picture, Randy. So why a tennis racket and tennis balls?
Just because this is my favorite sport. Yeah,
Ah, okay. So are you a professional tennis player?
I'm not professional, but every weekend I play with some friends.
Okay. All
I'm not
right, good.
that professional.
So I'm not that professional, but you do enjoy the game.
I enjoy it a lot. Yeah.
Okay. All right, excellent, excellent job. Well, good. Well, thanks for coming into class. Thanks for sharing a little bit about yourself with us.
You're welcome.
Good, thank you. All right, let's have um Umt. Is that the correct pronunciation?
Meet.
Umit. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Hello, Umit. How are you today?
Hello. Fine. And you?
I'm doing just good, Umit. Okay, so Umit, where are you from?
I'm from Turkey.
From Turkey. All right, good, Umit. Okay, Umit, I sometimes I get curious about names. Does Umit does your name mean something?
Yes, it is a Turkish name. It means hope.
Hope.
Yes.
Okay, I like that. I learned something new today. Umit, hope. Okay.
Yes.
Actually, my name has a meaning. It's interesting. I don't think my mother realized it when she gave it to me, but when I went to Africa, when I went to Kenya, I realized that my name is a man's name, is a popular man's name in Kenya,
Mm,
and it means shepherd, a shepherd.
shepherd.
Yeah. So I'm the female version of a shepherd, shepherdess. Okay, very good. All right, very good. Okay, so Umit, you have a picture of a bird. Tell us why you chose that picture.
Uh, it is a swallow,
A swallow. Mm-hmm.
mm, and I like swallows.
So tell us, what do you like about swallows?
Swallows, a migrant bird, uh, and it uh, can fly very fast and have a different tail.
Yeah, it does have a nice
So
tail.
yes, so I like it.
Okay, all right. Thank you for sharing a bit about yourself. Very good. All right, well, it looks like we have a couple of other students that have joined us. Let's just briefly say hello to your classmates. Hello, Suna. Welcome back to class. How are you today, Suna?
Yeah, I'm very good. How are you today, Carissa?
I'm doing pretty good so far today. Thanks so much for asking. Good to have you back again, Suna.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, and it looks like Luis Antonio did come in. Okay, we'll wait for him to join us once again. All right, well, it's time for us to go ahead and actually get into our lesson material for today. So we're going to talk about could and should. Actually, we're going to talk about it in the reverse order. First, we're going to talk about should, and then we're going to talk about could. Okay, so likely you already know a bit about should. Okay, so first, let's just give a basic definition. Okay, so basically, should is the past tense of shall. Okay, maybe you have seen shall, S-H-A-L-L, as you're reading English, or maybe you have seen a movie where you've heard someone say shall. Okay, all right. Well, this is the past tense of it. Okay, all right. Now let's talk about when it can be used. Okay, so the first use, I'm going to go ahead and put it in the chat box, and I'm going to put that right along with a definition. Okay, so here's our first use of should. All right, and I'm going to get a reader, and then we're going to talk about some examples. Okay, all right. Let's have Umit. Umit, can you please read that definition in the chat box for me?
Use to say or suggest that something is the proper, reasonable, or best thing to do. You should, ought to get some rest.
Right. Okay, so we've learned a couple of things here. Okay. And ought to can be used interchangeably. Okay, they mean the same thing. All right, and it's used, as it mentions here, if when you're going to talk about something that is proper or reasonable or perhaps the best thing to do, then you use should. Okay, all right, now let's think of some examples. Okay, think of things that your parents have told you that you should do. Okay, I'm going to start off with an example. You should brush your teeth at least 3 times a day. Okay, I'm going to type that here in the chat box. At least 3 times a day. All right, so that's something that I was told that I should do. Okay, Suna, can you tell me something else that you should do?
You should wash the dishes every day.
Okay, yep, you should wash your dishes every day, okay? All right, let's have something else that you should do. Luis Antonio, tell us something else that we should do. Okay, let's check back in. Luis Antonio, are you able to hear us okay? Okay, maybe Luis Antonio stepped away. All right, let's hear from Jenna. Jenna, hello and welcome to class. Jenna, can you tell us something that we should do?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, we can hear you.
Okay, do I just tell you anything random?
Yeah, you can just tell me anything. What do you think we should do?
We should wake up on time and go back to work.
Okay, good. Wake up on time and arrive to work on time.
Okay.
Yep, good, good. So there's a lot of different areas where you can talk about should. All right, let's check back in with Randy. Randy, tell us something that you should do.
For example, when I was at school, parents always told me to work very hard for getting good grades.
Okay, so here it is. You should work very hard
Work very hard.
and get grades. Get good grades. All right, there's your sentence structure. All right, read that for me, Randy, please. Okay, good. Good, ma'am. You said you should sleep 8 hours every day. That would be great. All right. Now let's go ahead and take that to a different level. Okay, we talk about what you should do. Now let's add something in English to talk about what you actually do. Okay? I'm going to piggyback on ma'am's sentence. Okay, so here's my sentence. I know that I should get 8 hours of sleep every night. Okay, here's my conjunction word. But I only get 5 hours of sleep. Or, but I only sleep 5 hours a night. Okay, so this is something that you would actually see in English. Okay, first you say what you should do, and then you say what you actually do. All right, let's try that. Let's try in a different example. Okay, Suna, can you give me an example of what you should do, and then tell us what you actually do?
I should study English every day, but I shouldn't. I don't have study English, right?
Okay, good, good, good. So let's type that in the sentence. Okay, so in the chat box. So I should study English, but well, you could simply say, but I don't. Okay.
Yes.
If you want to give a reason, okay, maybe you could say, but I don't have the time. Okay, so let's see. So I don't have enough time, or I don't have time to do it.
Yes, I got it.
Don't have time to do it every day. Okay, so should. Go ahead. Okay, good, very good. All right, let's try a different example. Okay, Umit, can you give us a different example? Tell us what you should do, and tell us what you actually do.
I should eat less at dinner, but I don't.
Okay, good. Oh, I forgot eat. Sorry about that. Let's type it again. I should eat less dinner, but I don't. Okay, yeah, that's a simple way of saying it. Okay, now you can also make it a bit fun. Okay, you could say I should eat less at dinner, but my wife's cooking is too delicious.
Yes, it's true.
Or you could say my wife's cooking is awesome. All right. So you really should eat less, but the food is just so good that you cannot eat less. Okay? So it just depends. If you
Yes,
want to
okay.
make a general statement, simply say I don't. Okay? Or if you want to be a bit more comical or whimsical with it, you give a good reason. Okay? But my wife's cooking is just too awesome.
Okay.
Okay, good. Excellent job. All right, let's get another example. Let's have Jenna. Jenna, can you give us a contrasting example?
I should finish my paper, but I procrastinate and wait until the deadline.
Ah, that's excellent. So if you're a university student or a college student, that would be a wonderful sentence. Excellent job. Excellent job. Okay, very good. Okay, Randy, let's have your example.
Okay. I should have done my homework, but I I was watching football all the time. I didn't.
Okay. That's probably true. That's probably true of a lot of people. Yes, okay, things that you should be doing, but you're not. Okay, okay, good. It could also be used when you're trying to quit some bad habit. Okay, I know that I should not smoke, but I smoke 2 packs a day. All right, so that could be a reality for some people. Okay, very good. All right, let's move on to a different use of the word should. Okay, I think we've got that down. Okay. Okay, and Randy actually, well, you mentioned it, but I want to talk about one more thing before we do. All right, let's talk about when you're asking for someone's opinion. All right, there's another use of it. Okay, so it's used to ask for someone's opinion. All right, let's get an example here. All right, what should we have for lunch? Okay, so that could be something that you could ask in your family. All right, let's have a different example. Okay, maybe we could talk about how you can use this. Well, let's just get a different example. All right, Jenna, can you give me a different example? Use the word should to ask for someone's opinion of something.
So what should I do for tomorrow?
Good. All right, good. So here it is. What should I do tomorrow?
Okay, tomorrow.
Okay, not for it, but just tomorrow. So what should I do tomorrow? Okay, then that's actually something you could ask yourself. Okay,
Yeah.
so if you're just thinking to yourself, hey, what should I do tomorrow? Okay, all right.
Okay.
Let's think of yet a different example. That was a good example, Jenna. Try to think of a different one where you were actually asking someone else for their opinion.
Professor, what should I do to get an A in this class?
Oh, that's perfect. Excellent job. Excellent job. Okay. All right. Now maybe we can try to think of a different example. Let's ask Suna. Suna, give me a different example. Ask someone for someone's opinion using should.
When should I arrive to here?
Okay, good. So when should I arrive here? I think you mentioned. When should I arrive here? Okay. You could also use there. When should I arrive there?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So for example, I could say, Suna, I'm having a dinner party on Friday.
Yes.
And you could say, okay, good, Carissa. When should I arrive?
I should arrive there at 8 p.m. in the park.
Good. That's good. That's right. I should arrive at 8 p.m. Very good. Excellent job, Suna. All right. Let's think of a different example. All right. Let's ask Randy. Give us a different example. Ask for someone's opinion using should, Randy.
Okay. My computer broke down last Sunday. What should I do to fix it?
That's good. All right, and that actually could happen. All right, I could also say, I broke the screen, or I cracked the screen on my tablet. Where should I go to get it fixed? Okay, good. That's a great example. Umit, can you give us a different example?
My friends want my car, but I don't give it to him. What should I do?
Good. Okay, so my friends want me my car. What should I do? Okay, there's your situation there. Okay, here you can use the word loan. Okay, my friends want me to loan them my car. Or here's a different example. My friends asked to borrow my car. What should Good. Excellent job. Okay. All right, and then let's see. Luis Antonio, how are we doing? Are you able to use your microphone now?
Hi, teacher. Hi, Carissa.
Good. There you are. Good to have you here, Luis. Good. All right, Luis, can you give us an example of using should to ask for advice?
I'm going to try. I don't save up. I don't save up enough money to buy a house. What do you think? I should take a loan from the bank in order to buy my house?
Okay, I'm going to type exactly what you said here. What do you think I should take out? To buy a house. Okay, good. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm just typing. All right, very good. Okay, so I get the idea of what you're saying here. All right, let's just make a couple of adjustments. So let's say I have not saved up.
Yeah. Present perfect.
There you go. So I haven't saved up enough money to buy a house. Now, there's actually two questions you could ask. You could say, what do you think I should do?
Yeah.
Or, do you think I should take out a loan from the bank?
Or keep it going, saving money.
Do you think I should take out a loan from the bank? And let's add, or should I just keep saving money?
Yeah.
Or should I keep saving money?
Thank you.
Very good. Excellent job. Okay, so it's very good to practice using these structures, right? That way we can make sure that we can kind of fine tune our English. Excellent job. All right, and these are very good examples that you're using. Okay. And you can use the word should to ask for advice in a number of settings, like you could see at the university, at work, when you're making purchases, those types of things. All right. Does anyone have any questions so far about the two uses of should that we've talked about?
I want to ask at first, the first time you asked us to make the example, after I say, I forgot what I said. I should wake up on time and arrive at work, right? So should is a past tense for shall. So for arrive, I need to add the D after arrive. So both of them should be past tense. Is that what you mean? I didn't ask earlier.
Okay, let me go back to your question. Let me go back to that sentence. Give me a second. Oh, I should. Actually, I typed it wrong. Okay, so let's see. I'm actually looking for your sentence. You should wash dishes. Yeah, type your sentence again for me. I just want to make sure that I'm answering your sentence correctly.
So I should use arrive or arrived.
Okay, so you said I should wake up on time and arrive at work. Okay. All right. Yes. Okay. I see what the confusion is. Okay. Yes. One use of should could be the past tense. Okay. But in this case, okay, we were actually talking about just a general statement of fact. Okay. And so this really isn't the present. It really isn't the past tense here. Okay. I'm sorry about that confusion. Okay. So what you should say here, I should. Okay. You use your subject plus should, and then just the base form of the verb. Okay, so I should wake up and
Okay.
Okay. All right. Now, that's a very good question. The very next thing that I want to show you actually is to talk about the past tense, and here it is. Okay, so let me give you an example. Okay, so here it is in the chat box. I'm typing it in both chat boxes just in case everybody's not able to see the Verbaling chat box. All right, so here it is. Okay, so Jenna, since you asked that question, I'm going to ask you to, okay, should ought to. Okay, and that goes back to something that it is right for you to do, or something that is proper for you to do.
I didn't hear what you were saying earlier because the voice is breaking up. I didn't hear everything.
Okay, I'm sorry. Tell me the last thing that you heard me say clearly.
The last thing is I'll try type the sentence on the chat box and then you try to explain it to me.
Oh, okay. The sentence that you originally asked about?
Yes.
Okay, good. So let me go back to that one. Okay. All right. Now remember, in that first example, we were just talking about the use of should, and it's talking about something that it is proper and right for you to do. Okay. Now in this case, we're not actually using should in the past tense. Okay. It should can be used in the past tense, but this is a different use of the word should. Okay. This is simply to state what it's proper for you to do. Okay. So your example would be, I should wake up on time. That's something that is proper and right for you to do. And arrive to work on time. Okay, but now let's take a look at a use of should in the past tense. So I'm going to show you a different construction using should. Okay, so Jenna, can you read what's in the chat box now? That it's used with?
Used with have to say that something was a proper, reasonable, or best thing to do, but was not done.
Good. Okay, so now we're talking in the past tense. All right, now let me give you an example of that. Okay, so here's an example in the chat box. Let me put it also in the Verbaling chat box. One moment. All right, good. So you should have been more careful. Now let's put a situation here. So let's suppose that I'm a parent and my teenager asks to borrow the car. So then my teenager comes home and says, Mom, I wrecked the car. Okay, so Mom would probably ask what happened. And maybe the teenager says, I was reading a text message. Okay, now here's an opportunity for Mom to say, you should have been more careful. Okay, so Mom talks, she's using should in the past tense. Okay, so what you should have done was to have been more careful. Then that way you would not have wrecked the car. Okay, or an example that Randy gave. Okay, Randy said, I should have finished, I think you said paper. I should have finished my paper, but I was watching the World Cup. Okay. All right, so let's try to think of maybe one or two more examples using this structure. All right. Okay, Umit, can you think of a different example of something that you should have done?
I should have studied English a lot, but I shouldn't.
Okay, good. So I should read English. I didn't.
Okay.
Okay, so remember, should refers to the proper thing to do. Okay, the proper thing to do was to study more English, but you did not.
Yes, okay.
Okay, to use the simple past tense there. Very good. All right, very good. Let's have one more person try to give me an example. Okay, I see that I have Ahmad in class. Ahmad, can you give me an example, please?
Okay. In my case, because I am late to class, so I might say, Teacher Carissa, I didn't understand the lesson. So you will say, you should have joined the class earlier.
Very good, very good. You should have joined the class earlier. Okay, that's great. Okay, so you could use that in academic settings. Okay, something that you should have done, the right thing to do, but you just did not do it. Okay, very good. I want to show you one more thing about should, and then we're going to move right into could. Okay. Okay, there's just one more thing I wanted to show you, and okay. Okay. Say for example. Okay. Here's the example I want to show you. You may have heard this already in English. Okay, so let's check the chat box. I'm going to put it in both chat boxes so that you can see it. Okay, excellent. And let's see. How about we have Suna. Suna, can you read the last thing that I typed in the chat box for me? That it's used to say?
Yeah. How should I know? Used to say then you do not know the answer to a question and are surprised that you were asked it. Where did they go? How should I know?
Exactly. Okay, so to explain that a little bit more, when someone asks you a question and you have no idea why they asked you that particular question, your response could be, how should I know? Okay, so for example, if someone were to ask me, Carissa, what did what did President Obama do when he woke up this morning? Why would I know that? Okay, so I could say, how should I know? Okay? All right, so when you're surprised that you've been asked a question, okay, this isn't a formal response. It's a bit informal, but it's a way that you can use should. Okay, if you ask me a question about quantum physics, I know nothing about quantum physics, so I may be surprised that you're asking me about quantum physics. So I may jokingly say, how should I know? Because I really have no idea what the answer is. Okay, so that's a different way that you can use should. Okay, all right, very good. Excellent job. All right, so let me ask you, are there any questions about what we've talked about, the different uses of the word should? Okay, are there any questions so far about the word should? Okay, very good. Now, if there are no questions about that, let's go ahead and take a look at the word could. All right, so let me put a definition here in the box for you, and let's get a reader, and then we can talk about it. Okay? All right, let's go to Randy. Randy, can you read that definition that I've put in the chat box for you?
Okay. Could is used to express possibility or possibility, as well as to make suggestions and requests. Could is also commonly used in conditional sentences as a conditional form of can.
Excellent. Okay, so let's first talk about possibility. Okay, I'm sure that you're very familiar with using could as a possibility. Okay, so let's think of an example. All right, say, for example, that I had $100 in my purse, and John came to visit me, and now I do not have $100. Who may have stolen the money? Umit, what do you think? What sentence could I use?
Sorry, I didn't remember name, but
John.
John could be stole the money.
Very good. Okay. Now I'm going to type a good sentence, a good way to say that here. Your idea came across very good. All right. So Umit, read that sentence that I've typed in the chat box for you.
John could be the one who stole the money.
That's right. So he could be the one. Now someone else could have stolen the money, but John was the only one that came into the house. Okay, so it's a possibility. Okay, so when you talk about possibilities, you could use the word could. Okay, all right. Let's think of another example. Okay, all right. So let's say, let's ask a question. Why is the city flooded? Okay, let's talk about some possibilities. Why, I'm going to type that sentence here. Why is the city flooded? Okay, all right, Luis Antonio, can you tell me why is the city flooded?
I think because it could be raining a lot.
Aha, good. Okay, so here's a possible sentence. Okay, read that sentence for me, please, Luis Antonio.
I think because it could be raining a lot.
All right. Okay, so it has been raining a lot. Okay, so let's say it this way. I think it's because it has a lot. And let's put lately.
Lately.
Mm-hmm. Good. All right, so another way to say that could be extreme rain could cause the river to flood the city.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
All right, very good. I think it's because it has been raining a lot. Okay, and we didn't use could in that last sentence. So let's say it could be because it's been raining a lot lately. Okay, because we wanted to use the word could there.
Yeah.
Okay, so what you're seeing here is that you use your subject and then you add your word could.
Could.
Uh-huh.
It could be.
Uh-huh. Very good. Okay, excellent job. All right, maybe someone else can think of an example where you could use could as a possibility. All right. Can anyone else think of a good example where I can use could as a possibility? Okay. Okay, let me give you an example then. Okay, where should we go on vacation? Okay, all right, now let's try to use could in our answer. Okay, all right, Umit, can you give me a possible answer?
You could what is the meaning of vocation?
Vacation is when you don't have to work for maybe 1 week or 2 weeks, and you have free time. You don't go to work, but you have free time and you travel.
You should go to Turkey
Uh-huh.
this year on vacation.
Okay. I'm on vacation. Okay. Okay. Now, I'm sorry. Vacation. I spelled vacation wrong. Vacation. All right. Now, remember, you actually used should. Okay. Now, should can be used for a suggestion. Okay. When you think about something that is good or what is right to do, you would use should. Okay. So we want to talk about possibilities. Okay, so if we're going to use could, my question though is where should we go on vacation this year? You could say we could go to Turkey. We could go to Turkey this year. Okay? Now, I like how you brought this up, Umit. Okay, because you use should when you're saying that something that is right to do, something that is appropriate to do. Okay, you should. Now you're from Turkey, so you would definitely recommend it. All right, but if we're talking about possibilities, then we use could.
Okay.
Okay, good, very good. All right, now let's get another answer. Okay, so let's see, Suna, if I asked you where should we go on vacation this year, what could you tell me? What suggestion could you make?
I could go anywhere. I could go anywhere.
Okay.
Just you what?
Good, good. I could go anywhere but to work. That's good, Tuna. I could go anywhere but to work. Okay, good. Very good, Tuna. Okay, and I'm laughing because I was thinking of a specific place, but you gave me something very general, and that's good. Anywhere but to work. Very good. Good job. Okay. Okay. So good. So that's an example. Think of options. Okay. Let me give you one more situation. Okay. Um, I I inherited I inherited $500,000 from my grandfather. I'm going to ask. Okay, I'm going to ask Jenna. Jenna, what could I do with $500,000?
$500,000. I could buy a house. You could buy a house, using half of it, and then for the rest, invest it um, in the financial industry.
Okay, so you actually sound like a financial advisor. Very good. So you gave me some very good options. Very good. Excellent job. Okay, let's get one more comment on that. Okay, so I'm going to ask Ahmad. Ahmad, what could I do with $500,000?
Well, you could buy shares in one of companies.
Very good. Excellent job. Excellent job. Okay. All right. So when you talk about possibilities, okay, you're going to use the word could. Now, there are a couple of different options that you could use there. You could use could. You can also use might or may. Okay. But might or may are for a different lesson. Okay. Very good. All right. Let's talk about another use of the word could. All right. Now, it can also be used in a conditional sentence. Okay. All right. Let's give you an example. Okay, here's an example, and this is something that you could likely talk about. Luis Antonio says, I think you could give a half. Maybe you meant to say you could give me half. Yes, I could do that. All right, very good. All right, so often you will hear people talking about how they use their time. Sometimes people say there's just not enough time in a day. All right, so if I said to you, let's see, Randy, if I said to you, Randy, if I had more time, I could have traveled around the world. I'm sorry, if I had more time. Okay, this is in the past tense now. If I had more time, I could have traveled around the world. Okay, so Randy, what could you have done if you had more time?
Okay, if I had more time, could have I could have I could have paid a visit to my whole family.
Okay, good. All right, so if I had more time, I could have visited my whole family. That's true. Okay. All right. And let's see. Let's ask Luis Antonio. What could you have done if you had more time?
I could travel all over the world.
Good. You could have traveled around the world. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Let's ask one more person. Okay, Umit, what could you have done if you had more time?
If I had more time, I could have done more sport activities.
Okay. Good. Very good. Very good. All right. Now, let's talk about this in the past, in the negative form. All right. So let me give you the opposite example. Okay. Let's see. Let me come back to you now. Okay. So here's my opposite example. Even if I had had more time, I couldn't have traveled around the world. Okay, so maybe I don't have the money. So even if I had had the time, I don't have the money, so I couldn't have traveled around the world. Okay, so you can use this in the past tense. All right, Jenna, um, can you give me a different example? Even if I had had more time. Okay, so here's a example of how you could start that sentence. Even if I had had more time, I couldn't have. Okay, I think Jenna may have stepped away. Okay, Suna, can you give me an example? Even if I had had more time, I couldn't have.
I don't understand exactly means.
Okay, so here we're talking about the past. Uh-huh.
Mm,
Okay. All right. So Suna, take a look at my example again. Okay, my example was even if I had more time,
mm,
I could not have traveled around the world.
mm. Even if I had more time, I couldn't have a good time my parents with my family.
Okay, good. Good, good, good. Let's go ahead with that sentence. Let me type that down here in the chat box. All right, so even if I had had more time, I couldn't have spent enough
Sorry.
time with my family. Okay, so sometimes even if you had a lot of time, it just doesn't seem to be enough. Okay, you wish you could spend 24 hours with your family, especially if you live far away from your family. Good, Suna, that was very good. That was an excellent job. All right, I'm gonna go back to Jenna. Go ahead, Jenna. What's your example?
Even if I had more time, I couldn't have the energy to have some fun.
Okay. All right. That's good. That's excellent. All right. Very good. All right. Let's go to Umit. Umit, can you give me a different example?
Even if I had more time, I couldn't go to Chinese.
All right. Good. So I'm going to type that here. So even if I had had more time, okay, and let's say you're on vacation, all right? So even if I had had more time, I couldn't.
Gone. Have to go. Okay.
I couldn't have gone to China. Okay, so maybe there's another problem. Okay, maybe now you have time, but again, as we mentioned, we don't have money. Okay?
Yes.
All right, so there you go. All right, so there's just a couple of ways that you can use the word could. All right. Now, let's just talk about it. Let's just talk about it just in the simple past tense. All right. If you were just going to say it in the past tense of can, okay, here's a simpler example. All right. So we're moving on to a different use of can. All right. This is just the simple past tense. All right. So when I was younger, I could run fast, but I can't run fast now. I'm sure a lot of people could say that. All right. So this contrasts something that was in the past, was true in the past, but it's not true now. Okay. So I could say when I was younger, I could I could do the high jump. Okay, let's say it now. All right, so a sport in track and field, but I can't do that now. I don't think I would even attempt it now. Or when I was younger, I could climb trees very fast, but I can't do that now. Okay, let's try to get one more example of that. Randy, can you give me an example of what you could do in the past that you can't now?
Okay. Well, 3 years ago, I was able to climb the mountains, but now I couldn't do it anymore.
Okay, so good. So I think you said there, I was able to. All right, now you could also say I could.
I could. Okay.
I could climb a mountain, but I can't now. Okay? All right, so here's your homework. Listen to people speak English and listen out for when they're using should and could. Listen to how they use it. And I'm sure you'll find that some of the things that we talked about today are some of the things that you will now start to hear and recognize in everyday conversations in English. All right, please put this in your English toolbox and pull out the words could and should as often as you can. All right, well, that's the end of our lesson for today. Please remember that if you would like a private lesson, you're more than welcome to book a private lesson with me. And please look out for my future classes. It's been a pleasure to have you here. Thanks for joining me, everybody, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Thank you. You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.